Hey guys, Danny here. Today we're looking at another drone. This is a mini drone. It was sent to me for review by GearBest. I'll put a link for you down in the description if you want to pick this up. As you can see, this is a pretty small drone. I do think the design of it is quite cool. I like the color and the really compact design that they have gone for. You can see there's this little, what looks like a camera on the front, but it's not. It's actually a small LED. And of course we've got our battery compartment underneath. The drone uses a 330 mAh battery. This is stated to give us about a 7-minute flight time. I think we'll probably get just under that, but I'll test this later on when I do my flight test. You also get a dedicated controller which unfortunately isn't labelled. Only some of the buttons are labelled, which is a little bit disappointing. This should be a standard for all drones nowadays. It does take 3 AAA batteries. And as usual we get our charging adapter and also a little screwdriver and some spare props. These always come in handy just in case you damage the ones that are already on the drone. So now we're going to take this for a flight test and see how it performs. Now let's take a look at some flight footage of this little drone. It actually doesn't fly too bad and does have several different speed settings that you can utilize. So you can fly this in some light wind. However, I wouldn't take this too high as it may easily be taken away because it's quite small. Now the controller works pretty well and the control range seemed fairly decent. I only flew this in my garden, so I didn't really do any specific range tests, but it seemed to perform pretty well. The controls were nice and responsive. I did seem to have a little bit of a delay in throttle response at times. Now this could have been due to the drone not having enough power. As you'll see here, on the higher rates the drone has a pretty fast turning speed, so you can have a lot of fun spinning this thing around. It can be a little bit disorientating, but as long as you're a decent pilot you'll be able to keep this under control. It may just take a little bit of practice. But you can see this thing is a lot of fun to fly. It's quite nippy. It does have some cool little flips that are quite tight and concise. The drone doesn't drop down too low after you do these flips, which can sometimes happen in these drones. But this one's actually relatively stable for its size and not too hard to fly. So if you are thinking of getting one of these mini drones and you want something that's not too difficult to fly if you're a bit of a beginner, this really isn't a bad option. The learning curve is pretty small. This drone does have altitude hold, which helps with its stability, but it doesn't have any positioning features such as visual positioning, so you can see here that it's really nippy, and because of this you have a lot of manual control and you're really able to throw this around and have quite a lot of fun with it. With some of the smarter drones you're not able to do this, so this is definitely more of a fun flyer than being more of a smart drone. So I would definitely pick this up if you want something that's fun and nippy to fly. Headless mode is not something I often use because I find on a lot of the cheaper drones it really doesn't work very well. However, on this little drone, as you can see here, it works really well and was a lot of fun to use. So this is definitely another little feature that's fun to play around with. Overall I got about a 6.5 minute flight time, and for a drone of this size it's pretty respectable. I've got shorter on drones that are a lot bigger and have a lot more space to play around with. Anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.